Many people after last video what I done, and I was talking about, is it okay to be separated? Is it okay to separating if you're not in a happy relationship? And how it's good, what is good even from separation and divorcing? Actually, many people was asking, so how do I know when is the time for me to separate, or should I still stay with that person and keep going in that unhappy relationship? So that's exactly what I will be talking today, and giving you some tips and some ideas as a love and relationship coach and mentor. So stay tuned. And I want to just guide you a little bit. When is time really to leave unhappy relationship? Or maybe is something still there unfinished, and maybe that's good to stay in that. Or maybe it's time to keep going on your own journey. So stay tuned as Asta Jacobson in here to give you everyday tips on working days, Monday to Friday. So today was, like I was saying, just after that video, what I done it last week. So if you missed that, I think it was on Thursday. If you missed that, keep re-watch it and see why is it okay sometimes to separate, and why is this okay sometimes to be with a person, or maybe why is this okay even to be single? And it's everything. It's okay if you really happy. And that's what is the biggest part of our life, and our soul wants to be happy. And happiness, it could be stay on your own. Happiness, it could be stay in unhappy relationship. Because the biggest point is what many and my teachers saying, what our soul comes into this life to learn lessons. And that lessons could be not always the nicest one. Like what our ego say, oh, I don't like this lesson. Why would I, want you to do this lesson? Because before you go in this life, in this world, to learn, to experience more and more interesting, or maybe not so interesting experiences, our life keeps going, and our soul wants to experiencing, but at the same time learn some lessons. What if not will be learned in this lifetime, you could be needed to redo it all again. So sometimes when we staying with some person, when we being and meeting some person in your life, and every person is very important and special, every person, not only the good one, the person who hurt you, because you did change something after that. Well, I hope you did. If not, you could attract another one, and even worse. That's what's happened for me a couple times, when I keep attracting the same, but actually even worse and worse relationships. And only when I started questioning and really looking for answers, I find them. But the point that really in here today, what I want to say, when you being in unhappy relationship or in happy relationship could finish happiness like this. And many people are saying, what is it? It was like, just looks like last week was everything went well and everything looks fab, and just boom, it's like disappeared. All this happiness, and look, person is separating, or in the big row, and actually, separating in the rooms or whatever. We came, as I'm repeating myself, to learn some lessons. Lesson could be to learn more patient, to learn more understanding other person's pains, or to learn how the other person could react in work, kind of hard work, in work kind of pressure. We have to kind of learn every time, and what we can learn, like whatever situation is, kind of move yourself away and like, wait a minute, what am I supposed to learn in here? Don't scream, don't. I know it's it's like emotions could take over, and we could start and like very much get into the situation, and like, how you dare to tell me this and tell me that. It's nothing about you. It's all about experience for your soul and for you to see what am I learning here. And I give you just example. um, I had many other partners in my life, and ex-husband, then ex-fiance, and then boyfriend, and then another boyfriend, and I'm like, whoa, what's happening? And all lessons, when I looked later after that, but that was only the lessons, they always brought in me to understand what I don't want in my life. So I definitely didn't like person who actually abused alcohol. But he didn't was abusing before, and that was wondering why is this happened when we become husband and wife. And that many times happened when men say, yeah, I got her, he relaxes and now he can be himself. And that's why I always say, make sure you're being with a person without face masks and all that. Be yourself now before you tied up in the relationship and big marriages or kids or anything, and then you voila, face mask is gone. And that happens a lot, because in the beginning it's only just to impress you and all that. So sometimes need to take time to see real person, because sometimes people could take that mask 10 years and 20. Yeah, because sometimes they don't even know themselves what they are and who they are. So yes, that could take many years sometimes for some other people. But what I'm looked back, in my points in my life, when I was being with someone and then separating and then someone, every time, every lesson was for me was how to learn to kind of more understand other person and try maybe to let them love me. As I was very much protective of myself, I was so terrified to get in the wrong relationship again, so I don't even let anybody to even come near me. I'm not talking about loving, like real unconditional love. I'm not talking about even thinking about to giving my soul to another person. Like, like I wouldn't give soul to anybody, but I was so closed. I was so locked with this protection, because after abuse in marriage and becoming single mom, it was huge protection, and it's not only for me but actually for my child as well. I was terrified to let in my family someone who could actually hurt and me and my child. It's not only about me anymore. And that where I was putting this big lock, big wall, but nobody could go over that wall, even myself if I want to, you know and that's why it was my biggest lesson, to try to look at the person without that wall. And that was huge, huge, huge learning. And now I know when I need to put on that protection wall and when I don't. But more I become stronger in me, more I know what I want to be with in my life. It could be co-worker, it could be next, like, person next to me, and I'm deciding very fast, no, I don't like this person's energy, no, I don't want this person in my life, so I'm trying to avoid that. As before, I would let them in my life, but then I would be terrified, but they will hurt me. Now, without even letting anybody know come near me, I know they kind of could hurt me or not, because I am more now understanding what is good for me and what is good for my surroundings. As before, as long you give me a couple compliments, as many women hearing and liking from years, I would nearly say, oh, he liked me, so he may be nice person. As now I know who is a nice person and who is not to be considered about a nice person at all. But that's life kind of studies, and the same time learning what time and what type is person to go good to be next to me. So for you to decide with which person you want to still learn some lessons, like I remember when I was just starting with my now partner of 6 years, first lesson for me was just to take it, like take presents from someone without asking nothing of me. Was huge for me. For me, would be like, what do you want? You give me this, so what will I have to do now for this? I was so never was given nothing, because like just happened in my life. I never was spoiled by anybody. I always done everything myself, worked, make money for myself, looked after my child myself. So I didn't really understand how somebody could give me some present without even asking anything, you know, for it. So that was huge for me. So that's what I'm kind of looking. What am I learning with this person when I'm being with this person? Now we kind of living together without any kind of things. At the beginning was a lot more to learn, and now it's kind of just safety net, safety, comfortable, and all that. But it could come, and I'd never ever say what, oh my god, this person is for all my life. You never know, because it could be one day you realizing what nothing to be learned in here anymore. But that's kind of another learning, of is it should be always hard to be with someone, next to you. Because many people, they can't live in peace. They're looking for this excitement. They're looking for some this row, make up sex, row, make up love, row, they need this up and down. As I love my peace. And sometimes to be in the peace and joy, that's one lesson already, because very little who can live every day and peace and joy when it's all this life happening around. That's already lesson to learn. So many things, if you say, that's it, nothing I can learn from this person, with this person, then maybe yes. It's nothing to grow for me with this person, because sometimes you're being with person who they just pull you down. And yes, then is your lesson. How can I learn to not to let the person push me down, but actually to rise myself higher? That's mean working on my energies, working of my better moods, working of my mindset, working my beliefs, because I know many times women being pushed down, and they getting that pushing, and they say, yeah, he's right, I'm not worth of nothing, I am terrible, I'm not good enough. And they starting believing, so they going down, 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 down. And then they just locks in there themselves with the man, because they say, oh, nobody will love me anyway. And that's the wrong belief. So when you are kind of saying, no, 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 I'm not agreeing with this pushing me down, I know I can be better, I know, that's already lesson for you to learn. So you're still doing something with that person. That's mean you're still learning a lot of things. Like I remember um, one client was kind of saying, what should I do? I just even can't be with this person in one room. I'm like, that's already the lesson. Make yourself happy without him making you unhappy. So don't let him to ruin your day. So how can you do that? And that's where is the lesson already. And that's what I'm always saying. Every day could be a lesson. And when you really look later, when you're being with someone who's actually pushing you down and you learning to rise yourself up, and then he's doing this and you doing that, and then you're like, you know what? I don't even know why I'm in this person with this person. Looks like I'm done with this. And that's where your realization when yes, now I done all my learnings with this person. But then don't forget is another learning how to forgive and forget for that person. Because if you go and think because of him, because of that, I'm on single again and all that, that's you didn't finish learning. And that's why many things, it's in two people relationships. It's not only have a good time, then we separate, or we living together, and blah blah blah. It's so many things in there, deeper things for your soul to understand why you was brought together with this person. What did you learn together, and what are you still learning together? And yes, sometimes could be like calm and peace and nothing happening, and you think, oh, it's nothing happening. Is this what? Is this that's it? No, that's your peaceful moment, but you never know where could something rising. So enjoy your peaceful moments. And every time, if you don't know what is the lesson, if you don't know why is this happening, if you don't know what to do, send me a private message and we will talk about, not about your personal thing, don't worry, I'm not going to be asking, but what would you like to have? What would be your future plan? What is your future? Do you see that person in your future? Or what kind of person would you like to see in your future? What can you change? Or maybe you don't need to change anything. That's why it's always good to talk with some stranger just like me and to see, am I in the right place? Am I not wasting my time? Because many times we're being with people because it's comfortable, because it's all this, because it's all that. Oh, I don't want to shake the waters. Oh, I don't want to make the, problems. I don't want to, no, no, no. If it's time for you to do some action, if you're starting questioning yourself, am I in the right place? That's the time to act. Talk with me, and we will see, is it any lessons there, or what lessons you're learning, and how you can learn them lessons really faster and maybe smarter way, or not just going and screaming on each other. Because yes, you can scream, but that's only egos talking. Your soul not succeeding in here. Your soul is not growing. Your soul actually saying like, oh, again, okay, I will give you another lesson to learn, and you get another lesson to learn, and next one could be even harsher. So my suggestion would be, if it's any questions, what lesson am I learning with this person? Because I was asking myself a lot, what am I learning here? And yes, it was big, many lessons, but I didn't see it till my teachers kind of guide me to it. I'm not going to tell you this, this, this. I will guide you to it, and you will understand a lot better what, how, and where is kind of to do, what's next. And is this your part of for your soul to grow and learn many good or maybe not so good things, but they need for your soul to experience it. So I'm telling you, have a wonderful day, wonderful evening, and think, and never ever stop believing in love, because love is the one power what goes all this world around. Love for yourself first, but at the same time to people who's around you. Talk to you tomorrow, or maybe send me your private message and we will talk pretty soon. Loads of love.